What's up, guys? This is Sam Talks About Games, and today I'm going to be talking about Nintendo Switch 2 and why I think it's coming early 2024 based on the new evidence we've found. I will also say, if you do like my content, please subscribe. There's a very, very large percent of people who watch the videos and are not subscribed, so I would very much appreciate it. Very much. So, to start off, Nintendo Switch 2 has some new rumors going for it coming out in early 2024. Earlier this year, we were pretty sure it was late 2024, but now it's starting to look like early. Maybe because Nintendo sees declining Switch sales and they don't want to fall off the cliff. Then again, they could always price drop the Switch and it would bring sales right back up. But that's besides the point. So, Nintendo Switch 2, this SoC developer in China, Pixart, which makes parts for controllers such as Joy-Cons. They've worked with Nintendo for a very long time, and they are saying that they're prepping for a big Japanese gaming company's product launch in early 2024 that hasn't released a console in a while. So that takes Sony out the picture, because they just released PSVR 2. And unless Sega is making the Dreamcast 2, this is a Nintendo Switch 2 that they're talking about. They are positive that a Nintendo Switch 2 is going to come in early 2024, as is Foxconn in the States, also known as Hangzhou in Asia. They are also pretty well developed with Nintendo, and they think it's coming Q1 2024 as well. So we see these big manufacturers making parts for Nintendo that think the Switch 2 is coming out early 2024. So I'd say it's pretty safe to believe that. And if it's not early 2024, it could be around the June period. I could see that happening because they wouldn't have to announce the console until next year, therefore not cannibalizing their holiday sales. So, here's what I think about all this. I think it's plausible, but I think the mystery of a launch game still remains, because they're not going to launch 3D Mario right after Mario Wonder. I mean, Mario Wonder comes out in October, 3D Mario 5 months after, pulling out all your stops like in that small period. I don't know. There hasn't been a new 3D Mario in a long time, nor has there been a new 2D Mario in a long time. So bring them both out within 5 months and then wait another few years. I'm not buying it. I think 3D Mario's holiday next year. That'll give it a little breathing room. So, there's a bunch of other launch games that could happen. Let's just talk about games that could launch a system, and then I'll talk about how likely they are to happen. Of course, Mario Kart 9 might be the absolute best system launcher, because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is nearing 60 million units sold. Mario Kart 9 could possibly, if Switch 2 is nearly successful Switch, I mean, Mario Kart 9 could possibly hit 80, 90, 100 million. It could hit GTA territory. So, that's something to note. Mario Kart could sell systems, but something that tells me it's not going to be in March, it's because, one, I think we would have known about it already. Two, it's right after the Booster Course Pass DLC. So I'm not sure about that. Another game I could see launching a console is, wait for it, Metroid Prime 4. Now I know Metroid doesn't sell, but trust me, Metroid Prime 4 will sell. We said Pikmin wouldn't sell, right? Pikmin 4 just outsold Final Fantasy 16. So Pikmin 4 is going to end up like 5+ million units sold, which is ridiculous for that series. So why can't Metroid do the same with a big breakout into the first-person shooter genre? So I think Metroid Prime 4 is actually the most likely candidate. I don't think Mario Kart 9 is going to happen in March. I don't think 3D Mario is happening in March. But there's one more game. Now, we tend to see Zelda launching consoles a lot. And Jeff Grubb thinks a Zelda game's coming out this year. Or not coming out this year, announced this year. So I'm thinking it's possible that this Zelda game is an Ocarina of Time remake. It would just be called The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And there would be both new players from the Tears of the Kingdom Breath of the Wild era that would pick it up, and it would also probably be a technical showcase since it would be built ground up. It's not just a remaster. Sony, although they had a couple launch titles for their system, they did launch the title with a remake, Demon Souls, and it succeeded. It was the second best-selling launch title out of three. It sold just under Spider-Man Miles Morales, which was a given. Miles Morales is a massive IP. But I think Ocarina of Time Remake and Metroid Prime 4 are your most likely candidates for Nintendo Switch 2. Probably Metroid Prime 4. But, I'm just trying to consider everything here. I mean, Smash could also launch a system, but I don't think that's coming out yet. It's also possible that there's a dual launch game. So let me explain. There could also be, say, Metroid Prime 4 and a 2D Zelda or something like that. Like 2D Zelda isn't enough to launch a system by itself, but combine that with a system showcase like Metroid Prime 4 and you got yourself a pretty nice launch lineup. See, the Switch did succeed with its launch. Breath of the Wild was a phenomenal launch game, but it being the only launch game, once you finished Breath of the Wild, there wasn't a lot to play on Switch until Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came out. And even with that, like, Wii U owners were like, we already played this game. I don't think they're going to do that same thing with Switch 2, obviously, because the Switch was actually a success. The only reason I think they did it with Wii U is because the Wii U was not a success, and they wanted to get some more mileage out of those Wii U games. But I think they could have like a dual release, like a Metroid Prime 4 and a 2D Zelda, or maybe Metroid Prime 4 and Ocarina of Time remake. That would be a killer lineup right there. That would guarantee success. Or they could just have one game. It all depends. But I do think Metroid Prime 4 can carry a console's launch. I think it's a common misconception that it can't. I think it can. Because Metroid Prime 4, its genre is much more popular than it used to be. Games like BioShock, which are single-player Metroidvanias, are very, very, very popular. So why can't Metroid? The first-person shooter genre is much bigger than it used to be in the GameCube era. I mean, the rise of Call of Duty and like Apex Legends, and I know those are multiplayer, but the whole style of game is just 10 times more popular than it was. So, I think Metroid Prime 4 can sell 5 to 10 million units. I think that's very possible. A 2D Metroid just sold 3 million. So why can't a 3D Metroid sell at least 5 million? And 5 to 10 million, that's a pretty good system launch. So I think they're going to do it. I think this is going to be the first time they launch a console with Metroid. And I'm pretty much positive on that. But let's look at some outliers and what could happen. So, like I said, Smash Ultimate, or not Smash Ultimate, a new Smash could be used to launch a console. Or a Tears of the Kingdom remaster could be paired with something else to launch a console. That's actually probably pretty likely, like a 4K next-gen upgrade. I don't know if I would consider it as a new game, because it's just going to be a next-gen upgrade that maybe you paid 10 or 20 bucks for. Another thing is they could do something Mario and pair it with something else, like something smaller Mario, like a Mario sports game, regrettably. But I don't think they'd use that. Like, the only thing that really makes sense is Metroid or Zelda, because 3D Mario is still a little ways off. So that's the only thing that makes sense, so I'm just going to decide on that. However, if Nintendo Switch 2 comes out in late 2024, which is becoming less and less likely, it's becoming more and more likely it's early 2024, but let's just entertain the possibility that it comes out late 2024. I believe at that point, 3D Mario is for sure the launch title. 100%. And before all these rumors, I was thinking, late 2024 with 3D Mario. That makes sense. But it's not looking like that. So, to recap, at this point, I'm believing that Nintendo Switch 2 launches in early 2024, likely with Metroid Prime 4 in March. And I think that it's not going to be late 2024 due to all the rumors. I was a late 2024 guy, but not anymore. I've passed that. And I think we're going to get news about it in between August and October. Probably at the latest, mid-October, earliest August. Because Gamescom is coming up, so that's pretty important. But yeah, that's about it. See ya.